I avoided college for a reason.
Well, and now it caught up to you.
Oh no, I'm in grad school at this point.
Oof.
I don't want
Cannot
to do
recommend.
that. I don't recommend just out of secondhand knowledge. And I guess we're going to start the show with that. Hi!
I have not done anything to start the show yet. But it was a nice try, I grant you that. So,
Just nailed it.
yeah, absolutely. So I guess I will honor your efforts by starting the show. Hello and welcome everybody to the AWKWARDCast, where AMI and Keyframe wonder about random dribble. And today with us, after quite a while once again, Dr. Nuka. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine. It's happy to be here again.
Yes.
We're doing this back and forth where you go on my show, I go on your show. It's great.
Apparently, but I have the feeling that next time you need to get Keyframe for fairness reasons.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yay, that's going to be an interesting discussion.
Which is probably a fantastic segue into the plug section. So, Nuka, please do tell us what you do, who you are, and why people should care. And I guess this includes not just your profession, but also now your show.
Indeed, yes. So, yeah, I'm Dr. Courtney Plante. I go by Nuka in the furry fandom. For those who don't know, I am a psychologist, an associate professor at Bishop's University up here in the frigid north of Canada. For the last 10 or so years, I've been studying fan groups. So my area of expertise in psychology is studying the social psychology of fan cultures. So I've published 4 or 5 books now on the subject of fan culture. My recent one here, Transported to Another World, about the anime fandom. You can go on Amazon and spend way too much on it, or just email me and I'll give you a free copy.
If I open the book, will I go into an isekai? Will I be in...
No, I cannot guarantee you will, but if you're doing drugs when you open the book, that could happen.
I take it.
I study the furry fandom, brony fandom, anime fandom, Star Wars fandom, and yeah, it's mostly what I do and why people seem to want to talk to me, although I don't think I'm interesting enough for anyone to be particularly interested in what I do.
Shut the fuck up. The toxic humbleness is not allowed in this fucking stream, sir.
That's Canadian humility, actually. That's Canadian humility.
No,
You're being very, very racist against Canadians by doing that.
Oh, Keyframe committing hate crimes in the first 5 minutes of the show against Canadians of all people.
I'm sorry.
Hey, only in the first 5 minutes. Don't make me want to leave. Oh,
hey,
anyway.
Remind us, how much sleep did you have last night? Or when did you have sleep the last time? Let's put it this way.
I think at 11 a.m. yesterday, I slept till 1 p.m. So I had 2 hours of sleep.
Yeah, you win. I probably got 5 or so squeezed out of the night.
Oh, wham, you got 5 hours. I would love to have 5 hours.
Interrupted 5 hours, so 5 hours total.
Wah. Anyways, but yeah, Nuka, you make things about science and sociology and fandoms and all that jazz. What have you been up to recently, though, amongst that and outside of that person? Go. I'm great.
So I've been, I just finished another book, which this is the first book I've written that is not for a general audience. It's intended for psychology. 5 psychologists in the world are going to read it and nerd out about it, and everyone else is going to read it and be like, what the heck is this? So I wouldn't recommend that book to anyone else, but yes, working on a book, which takes way more effort than I thought it would. And also putting together research. So with the pandemic, it hasn't been easy to do a lot of research at conventions because there haven't been a lot of those. But recently we are planning for conventions next year. So we get to put together one of our surveys a few months in advance. So we're doing that. And with the recent My Little Pony movie that came out, we've been studying bronies. So we've actually been running a study for the last few weeks. It was posted on Equestria Daily, gauging the response of bronies to the My Little Pony movie. And then we're also going to be gauging the response at the start and end of the first season of the new generation of show, to see sort of whether there was some fall off between the Gen 4 bronies and the Gen 5 bronies, how new bronies compared to older bronies, because it's kind of a unique opportunity. It's very rare for people when they do study fandoms to get to study a fandom right from the start, or to be able to study sort of the death and rebirth of a fandom. So a lot of firsts here, and it's pretty exciting for us. Not the least of which is for me, because I am a brony. So pretty fun.
So were you
I mean, that does sound interesting.
So were you basically the first one to answer the survey yourself?
I'm not allowed to because I helped write it, so I just get to read what everyone else thought. I never get to talk about how I feel.
Oh, you already knew the correct answers ahead of time, and therefore were not allowed to partake in the test.
That's what it is.
That's how
exactly
science works, right?
Yeah, there are correct answers to these opinion questions.
Yeah, you can't. Is one of the correct answers to the opinion question, is Hitch the best character, and why is it true? Because he is. I'm not accepting it.
No, because the correct answer is Sunny, but you're close.
I thought Izzy.
Well, Izzy's also great.
Oh no, the best.
Sunny's basically Twilight Sparkle.
The best.
I have a bias. I have a bias towards Izzy because her character design just looks like a palette swap of Lauren's fucking OC.
What have I started?
So I'll love her automatically.
But oh no.
But no, Hitch's best boy. We finally have a good stallion character. He is best boy.
I can agree to that. I can agree to that.
He's played by Donut Lord, and you know what? It's kind of nice to see that the best character in this show of a demographic for girls is a boy. And
with zero competition, he made the first place among the male characters. I'm so proud of him.
I mean, his other competition is Sprout.
Exactly, zero competition, as I said.
Yeah.
Hey! Mama's Boy got a pretty good song.
Oh, the song!
Oh, that was
the song was epic. The song was.
I hated that song.
What? No. Okay, Nuka uninvited. Keyframe, get him out of here.
I had a good run.
Remember when we said before the show started that we probably wouldn't have a lot to
say about
movie? Oh God! When I'm tired, my pony opinions are much more passionate.
Apparently,
shows something of how I was when I was thriving in the pony fandom. I'm just always tired.
I'm officially part of First Science now. I'm on First Science.
Oh,
yay!
Yeah.
Just noticed. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm also groggy. I also sleep deprived.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it wasn't even the piece of media I was gonna talk about today, but I'm happy to get into it over.
Yeah. We had a little bit. I mean, it was still in the "What are you up to?" segment.
Yeah.
Also, since you threatened it earlier to mention it.
Oh right, I totally forgot. Yes, so I am now a co-host on a podcast that's been running for way too many years now in the furry fandom called For What It's Worth, and it's been going for like 9, 10. God, I forget how many years now. Yes, Gray Muzzle. Yeah. But yeah, it's been running on, and I recently, in the last year or so, became sort of a regular host. I've always kind of regularly contributed to it, enough so that now I'm just a regular co-host on it. So,
and yeah. I was there, but I believe this episode has not aired yet, has it?
Not yet. We've got a backlog that we're working through, but yes, you will at some point.
Decision.
Will be.
What's a backlog? What's preparing for things?
What's editing?
I don't know. Oh, well, okay, I know what that is. Why do you think I've been up this long?
But isn't there, Keyframe, isn't there a greater pleasure than editing your own videos? I'm getting too
not
murdered.
even my
I'm getting too. I know.
Okay, I'm just gonna. Nuka, we'll let you go back to you in a second, but I have to say, because within the past week, I could actually confirm this. Let's see. Today is the 24th. Am I correct? It is October the 24th. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 20. In 23 days, I can kill you.
Yeah, that's very true. Looking forward to it.
And the can is slowly turning into a will. And even if it's not kill, because you know what? I'll be happy, because it will be the first time I've seen you in almost 2 years, because of the fucking panorama. Maim is still on the table, though. I could maim you.
I see. You're making a valid point there.
All of the best murders are premeditated online beforehand.
Yes, but the thing that makes me worried is just the fucking... is either... I would live my idealistic life and you would let up, knowing that if you keep consistently pissing me off, what I will inflict upon you when you get here will be worse. Or what reality is that you're going to get progressively more annoying as the days get closer, because you want to see what happens, because you have a suicide wish, or morbid curiosity.
That one sounds fun.
Yes, it is.
Is it? Is it? Is it?
I think it is, potentially.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna find out that potential in less than a month, so. But, yeah, so, Nuka. What else have you been up to? Sorry for derailing by proclaiming murder.
As one does, as one does.
So mostly prepping for these upcoming surveys, getting ready for a furry survey. So some of the work we've been doing recently in the furry fandom has been looking at intergenerational differences. I've been really fascinated at the furry fandom now going on decades with an influx of new furries coming in constantly. It's kind of interesting to see the issues that are really important to younger furries versus the issues that are important to older furries. Some of the sources of friction between them that arise, both online and in person, is really, really interesting. So putting together a study about that and about minority groups in the fandom. So a lot of studying BIPOC furries in the fandom, trans furries in the fandom, and the experiences of those folks. So,
always interesting. I mean, fur science was always an interesting thing. I remember the Euroferns where we met you. I think as soon as we got back to Max's place that day, that we met you and everything, we did the fur science a survey online on his TV. Yeah. That was fun.
And I did the recent one.
Yeah. But yeah. So is there anything else? Because I can quickly go into my week. And then I'm gonna step away when Max does his, because I genuinely just need to make some coffee or something. Because if people can see me on the cast right now, I can't keep a consistent eye of what's going on. My eye is switching from the camera to this one GIF of Michael Myers dancing on Twitter to my other desktop. I can't focus.
Why do you need to look at anything else except the Mike Myers GIF?
Well, okay. I will put this in the Discord chat just because I think the world needs to see this. But yeah, do you have anything else that you?
Oh yeah, that's most of that. Unless you really want to hear me talk about students sucking at midterms, and I was marking midterms for the last week.
Oh, well, I don't want to hear that unless they're funny. Like, are they funnily bad, or is it like I'm sad bad?
I'll make one comment on it, and that's that I teach psychology of sex, and it is astounding how little adults know about their own bodies. That's all I'll say without mentioning specifics. It is frightening how the public school system has let us down.
Now I am like, here in Europe this would not happen. Or am I actually just as ignorant and would be one of those fools he's just talking about?
I can give you the test and you can find out.
Yes, please send me the test on Discord and I will.
Send the PDF. Have Max take a college midterm. This can only end well. But yeah, so if that's all you did. Hi guys, I'm tired.
Hi tired, I'm Max.
Womp womp.
I need to get my dryer. Oh wait, I do have my dry erase board, and I have markers.
Oh no!
Ignore these. ignore these tasks from April. I just have never wiped this down, so we're just gonna draw on top of it and just put like
Murder Max. Peg knives.
Let's see. Reasons to murder.
You're gonna need a bigger whiteboard.
I am actually writing this.
I believe it. Awkward Cast, episode 1 to 192.
Let's see. I'm just going to put today's date. Let's see. 10/24/2021. Max does bad joke.
Still, sounds like Awkward Cast, number 1 to 192.
Expense.
Still, Awkward Cast.
There. So let's see if I can get it on camera, right? So we got there we go. Reasons to murder Max, and then right there. We will see how much bigger this gets over the course of the next month.
I have 1 month to get this board filled.
This will be submitted as Exhibit A at your trial.
Yes. Hey, there's nothing. Look, it's not completely evil. I mean, I put a heart next to your name. That must mean something nice.
Yeah, aiming for the heart. It's like a stabbing. I was
about to get out of my brain. Get out of it. There's nothing good there.
Okay.
But yes, hi guys. So, all I've done this week is work. And like last week, I had fun. Went out to a Miyazaki exhibit. All these cool things, and then reality came.
I hate it when that happens.
I've been just blitzing through editing the next Friendlock episode. I got assigned an episode of the Friendlock, which is the Derek's Pokemon Nuzlocke Dungeons and Dragons thing, and I'm editing episode 4. And to do that, you have to edit through the raw stream footage, whittle it down, add visuals, and all that, right? Guess how long the original stream was for episode 4?
How long was it? Oh wait, I know you sent it to me, so I must not guess.
Yeah. Nuka, guess how long the original stream was?
I'm gonna say 20 minutes.
You poor innocent boy. It was 5
I'm gonna get my own whiteboard.
Long. It was 5.5 hours long, and I whittled it down to an hour. I know people think an hour is a long video. Try taking it for 5.5 hours. I made it a fifth of what it was. And, adding a bunch of visuals, After Effects stuff. I went and found rips of Pokemon sprites from a DS game and animated the sprites of the Pokemon being in the overworld to interact with Derek. That doesn't happen in the game. I've masked shit. I did a bunch of stuff. I'm very proud. I'm very tired. And I was very mad this morning because Adobe is allergic to itself. It is the pug of programs. It is allergic to water. Because you could fucking... I'm going to explain this because I'm angry, and angry makes me awake. So, in Premiere... Who knows? In Premiere... If you want to get effects that you can only get in After Effects, you can highlight those things, right-click it, replace with After Effects composition. So you're making a thing in After Effects, but it appears in Premiere. And that is good, because After Effects has a lot of things Premiere does not, because one is a compositing software, one is editing. Cool. Again, I did fucking animations and shit, masking a bunch of stuff. Things that had like 20 layers of stuff worked well. I've been fucking pulling my hair out all morning till right before this cast because of one composition that won't render, and it had 2 images just zooming in and out. There wasn't anything else. It was literally a JPEG of a ranch and a PNG of a sign. But Adobe doesn't care. Adobe doesn't want to work. It just wants to be the industry standard by standing there. And like it's like the kid that cries at Disneyland. It gets everything it wants and it still cries. Why are you crying?
I don't know. I didn't have that great of a day, and I wasn't a child. This was 2 years ago. Oh wait, this was rhetorical. Never mind, I didn't say anything. So, yeah, Adobe, am I right?
I'm a big fan of Adobe. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I've just been so mad. I've been so mad all day. I ranted to Max before the show, and I have like, if you look at my media encoder, there are like 20 failed attempts at rendering because of this one sequence. So I had to just finally move it out of the way, and I'm rendering it by itself, which apparently would take 2 hours, because that makes sense. Nothing makes sense anymore. People better like this Friendlock episode. I swear to God. If they don't, I will kill them.
Every single
I
one.
will have a body count.
How many subscribers does he have again? Quite a few.
I think like 600,000. But the good news is, the Friendlock episode that came out yesterday was the introduction of my season 2 character, Coach Kaz. So people got to see Coach for the first time in the anime cuts, which is cool. I had to edit myself in Stream 4 because Stream 4 I was in. I hate my own voice. Not in that I hate the character. I don't want to finish that joke after I told Nuka to not have like toxic modesty. And then me just saying, I don't hate the voice, I hate myself.
Are you Canadian too?
No, I'm a hypocrite. That's what I am.
Hey.
But yeah, so my week's been a lot of work, and I'm tired. I can't wait till November, because I'm sticking to my guns, and November's just going to be a big fucking break. Like, I'm not doing shit. I may do Undertale streams on Mondays, and maybe a couple commission streams, but that's fucking it. No working for anyone else. No AWKWARDCast. No Git. No nothing. I'm off the grid in November, and it's going to be fucking lovely, because I'm tired. I'm so tired. Oh my god. I do like this show, though. You guys are cool. But, everyone needs a break, and it gives Max less ways to get on this dry erase board.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, I just want to say, now I have to actually work for it, and I cannot just be stupid once per week doing awkward.
Dude, you talk to me more than you talk to most people. I'm sure you'll find ways outside of this podcast. You'll just text me at 2 a.m. being like, "Hey, Chrissy, what?" And then you'll just be yourself. Be violently yourself. And it's like, okay, I'm writing another reason on the board.
Yep.
There you go.
It's been good knowing you, at least.
He is good at knowing me. He knows exactly what annoys me, which is him.
Pretty.
But yes,
I have a pretty easy thing there. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go make coffee because I'm rambling and losing focus. So Max,
Fair.
talk about
Yes.
your week. Text me when you're done.
I will try to remember. Yes, but I actually had something happen this week because the Denim Ninja and I were at the Max in Berlin, which is the Manga and Entertainment Expo, and I guess I just ramble on a little bit about our experiences when I go through photos of it, believe it or not.
Slideshow.
Yes, so we were maskless in this one, I mean, except for the tentacle thing, and we are maskless in this one because this was outside. This is while eating. Normally it's still all in, yay, Rona, everybody has to wear a mask, which is such a shame, because anime convention, I believe I have not been to a proper anime convention before, like specifically focused on anime. I mean, I have been to furry conventions, I have been to brony conventions, I have been to a sci-fi convention or two. Now I'm getting confused. But yeah, I have not been to a dedicated anime convention before, and something that you guys will see in a moment is that it felt like every second visitor was in cosplay. Like, from a furry convention, you are used to it being a lower part, because they usually a furry costume, a fursuit comes with a lot more stuff. You do not just cosplay. most of the time.
25%, 30 wear a fursuit. So.
It's and even then they do it partially. They need to take breaks from it because they're carrying an entire sauna around with them, unless they have one of those cooling vests. Then they basically can walk around infinite. But but at this convention, every other person had at least some stuff going on in their outfit, all the way up to full cosplay, and due to the fact that the majority of the characters that they cosplay as are basically human, at least in appearance, it's really just a matter of clothing and accessories. And there it is, of course, such a shame if you have to run around with a face mask the entire time. And there are only so many cosplays where it makes sense to have it integrated in the cosplay. We will see a few of them. But first this is the explanation why I wear Star-Lord outfit. I wore it on Friday when we were there. We had totally planned, and not because I booked too late and it was already booked out, yesterday a day off from the convention. And because definitely for taking care of stuff during the weekend, and not because it was sold out when I finally remembered to get tickets earlier this week. Happy birthday, Denim! This convention trip was for her and me. I mean, I had also a good time. This sounded very weird saying it. But no, today we went cosplaying. We had actual elaborate cosplay plans, which might still come to fruition. We considered going as Seahawk and Mermista from the Netflix She-Ra reboot. However, with me being Mermista and her being Seahawk, because personality-wise, I am Mermista and she is Seahawk, I literally, without being prompted, go like, when things annoy me, and a lot of stuff annoys me. While she is all about adventure and setting things on fire. No, wait, this was just Seahawk, I believe. Anyways, point being, this plan. Adventure! As I said, point being that as probably anybody who has done the birthday was a while ago, I should say. The birthday was like almost 3 weeks ago, but the present was to go to the convention this weekend. But still, nice chat. You're great. You're great in you know your prompts. You know when to wish happy birthday. I'm liking that. But where was I before that? Outfit. Oh yeah. As everybody who ever did their own cosplay, not like me who just goes on the internet and buys stuff with money because I have no crafty talent whatsoever. But anybody who does it themselves can attest you. If you don't want to go, it's either an all-nighter or the cosplay will not be done in time. Do you see any Mermistas or Seahawks up there? And so yeah, we both went for default stuff that we had lying around. In my case, I went for my Gentleman of Culture outfit from my Honey Pop stream, while Denim went for an occult detective. And and this was outside of the expo area. There was a garden. There was just a garden. And everybody was out there for taking pictures and stuff. Also, a little bit of solo shot. There is the gentleman being very much appreciating the fine offerings of this establishment of fine creative designs and products, while our occult investigator investigates mysterious doors. And besides that, a little bit also, a Hell of a Boss made it to Germany enough that we have an entire group cosplay plus Loki and a JoJo of Hell of a Boss. I mean, this is a Blitz. Too sad that Keyframe misses this because he loves Blitz. But yeah, Blitz, Millie. We saw a Moxie running around as well, but he was not part of that group. So that was actually pretty great Moxie cosplay, not gonna lie. On the topic of creative adaptation of masks into cosplays, And generally, but this is a kind of cosplay where I'm like, yeah, this shit looks.
It works.
And this shit, like when you look at the fabrics and whatnot, this looks BAMF. Especially when you are just a meter away, it looks like super BAMF. If you zoom in too much, then yeah. Bowsette also doing a little bit of market research. Interesting maybe to see what trends make it over to a European anime convention. Even so, I probably should declare point out that Denim and I took the pictures with a certain bias. So obviously we took pictures of the characters we already knew. Classics like NGE must not be missed at an anime convention. Then also that.
Damn.
I'm not sure if it is actually a group or if they just assembled for the photo shoot. They have certain similarities. I know that the baby doll was actually part of a cosplay contest. The others, I don't know if... Also, what's fun, which can't be seen, right next to the picture is also a puppet, so a fifth cosplayer from FNAF, but the puppet's just standing there and holding the cigarettes for the people who are in the picture, and I'm like, did they draw straws and the puppet lost and was not allowed to get into the picture? Gee. Yeah, this is a picture of the park. By the way, I didn't have enough time to sort them into order, so they are back and forth picture-wise. Tales of the House Husband or something, a curious anime that also is on Netflix nowadays, about a former Yakuza who just became a house husband instead. He stopped his murders, Japanese Yakuza, thank you, the Japanese mafia. So he stopped his ways because he found a loving wife, and he just settled down, and she is now doing the job, and he is just a house husband and doing everything with Yakuza intensity. So it's entertaining in that regard. Oh, Lokis. There were actually quite a bunch of Lokis. President Loki, a car, as I said, everything is all over the place. Yeah, there was also a little bit of a car exhibit, like anime car. Hellraiser also, there's another car coming at some point later. Danganronpa was also something that you saw a lot. I believe this is a new character from, new relatively, by now probably also a year or two old, from Overwatch, if anybody still plays this game. Okay, I guess I mixed my picture and Denim's picture in here. Yeah, I guess, what else do I have to say about it? I guess I do a quick run through the remaining pictures. Because, yeah, loot. You don't go to a convention without loot. A little bit of the loot is right behind me, which motivated me to finally update my wall again. I saw this picture and I was like, it can't be true that I go to an anime convention and come back with a food picture. But it looks amazing. Also, if you have very good eyes, you see that there's a tiny person fishing in the ramen bowl. But it also looks so appetizing. My plan is to basically make people hungry whenever they watch me. So it's a threat. Like, if the audience is like annoying me, they are like, I make you hungry again. But yeah, also to balance it out, I got anime is trash and so am I. Which I love. I believe it was actually Gigak who coined that phrase a few years ago in the context of, oh my god, I believe it was actually the context of Aramanga Sensei, wasn't it? And yeah, I love it that this phrase, anime is trash and so am I, has become such a independent meme that it just appears on a random poster which has nothing to do with Gigak anymore at an anime convention. I just loved it.
It's just been embraced.
Exactly. Therefore, I loved it. I needed it. Besides that, I haven't gotten too much, to be honest. I got some new fancy-looking chopsticks, like, because I have those old wooden ones that are pretty run down, and I'm like, I wanna have something nice to eat my ramen with going forward. Then I saw this, and I had too many hours in the when in the office the internet actually cut out and my job is 100% on the internet. I literally can't do anything anymore, and you wait for the internet to come back. I have played, okay, it's probably just accumulated an hour or two of this game over the many years that I have worked at this company, 7 years or more than 7 years, almost 8. But still, I have played a lot of time every now of this game, and I felt this poster spoke to me. And yeah, besides that, I only got myself a little bit of food. I will probably die in the next few days whenever I try this one. So
It looks intense.
Yeah, it looks intense. And I had an actual ramen bowl of it, and it was pretty murder. So now I want to see what happens if I use this sauce in other cooking. But yeah, besides that, so those was my swag. So basically 3 posters, a little bit of food, and some ramen sticks. So so what did Denim get? Let's see. So first of all, we have a little bit of figurines like this here, which was like a steal for $10. This was at a secondhand thing, but $10 for this size of a figurine, not bad. So some small things where I have no clue what they are even resembling, and some Pokemon thing, and all of that stuff.
Just a little bit of swag.
Just a little bit of swag. I mean, I would not be surprised, especially with the plushies in here. I would not be surprised if the swag might have been what she spent on swag might have been more than what I spent on the tickets. But who knows? Who knows? But yeah,
Sounds about right. I literally wrote the book on anime. It sounds about right for how much anime fans spend at an anime convention.
It's true. But I mean, it's also fair. I remember my first furry convention to which I went was I came there. I didn't have too much of a budget because I was still just starting my job and still had a not a trainee but a low position and therefore low income, so I didn't have too much money, but I spent, especially in relation, so much money on my first con.
Break the budget.
Yeah. And yeah, oh, now that you are back, maybe I can bring up this one picture again, because I thought you would appreciate it. Oh no, did I close the pictures? I might have closed the picture. Wait, I can bring it back for you. I think you might appreciate it. An actual cosplay of...
Oh, that's so cool.
Yep.
He kind of also has Brandon Rogers' facial structure if it was like a bit more squished. So that's a really good I want to cosplay as Blitzo. Yeah. I just don't know if I can commit to that makeup.
That's a lot of commitment there, yeah. Yeah,
the thing is that I have like 4 characters that I want to cosplay as that has like a lot of heavy makeup, because you got Blitzo, you got Millie, because Millie's a badass, and I would love to be Millie.
Yeah, also.
Yeah. Luna, if I decide to do a kind of a more anthro wolf form and make my skin kind of grayish white like her fur.
You could cheat like her.
And Marceline from Adventure Time, which is just straight up gray. And I want to make it a good thing so I don't look like a 2-bit Homestuck cosplayer.
Hey, shots fired. Yep, shots fired, definitely.
Okay, there's good Homestuck cosplays. I'm just saying bad Homestuck cosplays where everything.
But yeah.
But yes, I am back with my life.
Excellent. Yeah, and I went on for far long enough about this singular event, but it was like, I mean, it literally was days of my week. So I think that was an appropriate amount of time invested. Oh no, have I come up with a media yet? Oh no, okay, what about you guys? Buy me time, please.
I love that Odie messaged me saying, quoting me saying, I'm rambling and losing focus. Said, how is that different than usual? But then attached this photo, so I can't be mad.
Oh, that is a brilliant move.
Because that's the good boy.
That is.
Yeah. No. Wait. Yeah. No. Oh,
there.
Charlie, it's your fault. If you give Max ideas to attach a cute beagle every time he sends something annoying to me,
it'll just make you hate beagles.
No,
there is no way on earth that the present Christine Bucolic and hate beagles. I have stopped in amusement parks because there were beagles that I could
Can
pet.
confirm.
Yeah. You know what? This can count as stalling. Because I don't think you've ever heard this story. So I think it was it 2019? Yeah, 2019 Eurofurence. We went to a theme park that's up north in Germany before we did Eurofurence in Phantasialand. It's still northwest. It's not south.
Oh yeah, but coming from Berlin, it's like going westwards.
Okay. I'm thinking of the whole country.
Okay,
Apologies.
then it's.
But yes, we went west, and then there's a park called Phantasialand. Beautiful amusement park, very fun. I want to go again. But when we were walking, there was this lady with these two chunky beagles. One of them younger, one of them more elderly. And I was just peering at them while we were walking because they were a few feet away. And Max looks at me, and I look at him, and Max is like, do you want to go pet the beagles? It's like... And never has this man looked more like an exasperated parent than going, go ahead. And then
most of the time I just hide it better.
And I was like, can I pet your dogs? And she's like, oh yeah, sure. And I'm just petting them, and I'm just having a great time. And the owner is making fun of me. I'm sure she was making fun of me. But look, you can't bring two adorable dogs to anywhere and not expect people to not want to give them love and affection. That is the whole point of a dog's existence.
That's a weird thing to bring two dogs to an amusement park where you literally cannot do anything with them unless you take turns going on the rides.
Maybe they like rides.
I didn't know that an amusement park could be dog-friendly, and they weren't service dogs. Mind you, I know some people will probably be like, were they service dogs? Because you're not supposed to pet them. No, they didn't have harnesses or any of that kind of thing. They were just normal puppers. And I would argue, beagles as chunky as those should not be service dogs. But they,
They could still be emotional support dogs.
Oh yeah, they would definitely be. If I ever got a beagle, knowing how much I would baby it, it would probably become chunky in the future and would be an emotional support animal. But yes, I could talk about my media if you need more time.
Please do so.
Okay, so I was debating between talking about this media or talking about a documentary I watched this weekend about the Jonestown cult and mass suicide, but I wanted to pick a more fun subject. Because I found a new channel about this woman who just talks about different true crime things. And she did one about John Wayne Gacy, and then she did one about Jonestown. And then I wanted to learn more about Jonestown, because it's a very interesting cult. And so I watched another documentary. I don't have a problem. People should look this shit up. It's interesting. The world is scary. But instead, I'm going to talk about a less scary thing, which is Disney's capitalism.
I don't know if that's less terrifying.
With Cruella. I said Cruella.
Ah, right, you did, didn't you?
I did, explicitly. Okay, so let's put another reason on the board. Where's my life marker?
It's okay, all you have to do is throw a puppy when they show up to kill you.
Yeah.
Just, here's a beagle, then run the other direction.
Exactly.
He's gonna go,
no, it's allowed. But there it is.
He's gonna direct the Uber to go to like some kind of dog park.
Your trailer time is running, by the way.
No, it's not.
It is. Oh no, I'm not sharing the
Not
screen. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. Maybe I should change that. Okay, now your trailer time is running.
Bad host. Okay, but yeah, so I finally sat down and watched Cruella, this movie, because it's for free on Disney Plus now, aka you don't have to pay $30 alone for it. This movie bothers me because if you made the character not Cruella de Vil, I think I would like this movie. It's the sheer fact it's Cruella de Vil that I don't like this movie. Because, of course, you have the whole scene with the Dalmatians that everyone memed to death when this movie first came out, of her backstory of why she hates Dalmatians. But besides that, so Cruella is basically this girl who came from a dire straits, poor family. Her mom works for this fashion designer, and her mom passes away from unforeseen circumstances, so she becomes an orphan. And when she becomes like a rebellious teenager, she starts making designs, and the fashion designer sees it, and she's like, "Ooh, you are going to work under me as an apprentice." And then it becomes The Devil's Wears Prada. Sure. And there's all this stuff happening, and it's like a rise to power kind of story, but it's supposed to make you like Cruella, but it doesn't end with her wanting to kill puppies. So there's still an answer. I guess that's why there's a sequel, but it didn't need to be Cruella. Besides the fact of how her mom dies, there's no need for this to be Cruella. And they don't establish that this is an alternate universe interpretation like Maleficent. Because Maleficent establishes it pretty heavy that it's an alternate interpretation of the story. This one also mentions like Anita and Roger and the two Dalmatians that Anita and Roger has, which is connected to Cruella, which has some incest implications with the dogs.
Wait, what?
I mean, if you want me to talk about
just the dogs being inbred, or
yeah, I'm gonna have to put. I could explain it if you want me.
Pretty like brother and sister.
We are talking Dalmatians. I mean, there's a reason why why even The Simpsons reached the point where they made jokes about that those species are too inbred to sit. So, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
But I mean, if you want me to put on the spoiler warning for the narrative reason why they're inbred.
Oh, I mean, if there's a narrative reason of that caliber, sure, let me put on the spoilers for the reason why the dogs are connected and...
Yeah, welcome to spoilers. So the Dalmatians are owned by the fashion designer that has her as the apprentice and that the mom worked for and when she was a child. And the Dalmatians are her guard dogs, right? The Dalmatians thought that Cruella's mom was an intruder. No, they saw Cruella sneak into a party that the mom was at with the fashion designer. They were chasing after Cruella, overshoot, and push Cruella's mom over the balcony into the murky depths below, which, by the way, that's a terrible place for a balcony. But after Cruella, kind of brings down this evil fashion designer and everything, the two guard Dalmatians eventually are just given to Roger and Anita. But it's established that those two are from the same litter.
Oh.
So yeah, Pogo and the girl Dalmatian, those 101.
But I mean, then again, it's only like one litter that actually is from them. The rest are still other Dalmatians that got stolen from other places.
I know, but still, those 15 Dalmatians, we know which one. Yeah, I mean, one of them was kind of dumb, and one of them was kind of fat.
What? Anyway.
Yeah, there was a punchy Dalmatian.
Yeah, but I guess the spoiler is over. The crucial spoiler about the movie.
Point being, this movie would have just been better if it was just... And the thing is, they call her Cruella once, like, later on in the movie, because they're trying to make her the villain of the story and, like, the press and stuff by calling her cruel, right? Like, Cruella. But her name is Estella, or Estelle, in the entire movie. Again, we didn't need this to be Cruella. If you just wanted to make another Devil Wears Prada movie taking place in like the early 50s, you could just make another Devil Wears Prada.
I mean, having rewatched Devil Wears Prada last year or something, I can say it didn't age optimally. So a new take on the story would actually be a nice thing. Yeah, sure.
And was there really a huge demand for an expansion of the 101 Dalmatians extended cinematic universe? Like this didn't.
Yes.
We peaked with the TV show. No, you know what? We peaked with the Glenn Close movies. We don't need a live-action Cruella. We already got one.
Yes, that's the ironic part.
You can't beat Glenn Close. She's perfect.
And it'd be nice to see Disney coming up with some unique, some new new stories. Like I said, this could have been an entirely new story and been something novel.
Nope,
Yeah,
but
and
Disney needs to
let me
milk those
just
old
say
IPs.
Yeah, but let me just say, all the performances are really solid. Emma Stone does a fantastic job as Estella. Like she's really good and everything. All the characters are played well. But when you're given just this concept, I can only suspend my belief so far of, okay, this character is still eventually going to want to murder puppies. I don't know what you want me to root for here. And they don't establish that this is going to be a fucking... Maybe in the sequel they'll establish it, that this is a different universe than the 101 Dalmatian stories we've heard for years, right? Because at least with Maleficent, it's a different telling of the story, showing Maleficent's actually more of a guardian caregiver to Aurora and all this stuff, because it's based off a book that's like that. But where do you go? There's no wicked version of Cruella de Vil. When they made the musical Twisted and they ended that song where all the villains were saying their noble intentions and Cruella just yells, I just wanted to make a coat out of puppies. She eventually wants to make a coat out of puppies. I don't care how good Emma Stone is in this movie. Eventually she's going to make a coat out of puppies. And you can't tell me otherwise unless Disney tells me.
One thing it sounds like... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Actually, one thing that it sounds like, just from what you're describing, one of my biggest pet peeves with prequels, and the Star Wars prequels were kind of guilty of doing this, needing to like tie absolutely everything in a one-to-one fashion with the sequel, I guess, or with the later movies. Like, you didn't need to mention Pongo and Perdita. That connection didn't need to be made for the viewer in order for the events of 101 Dalmatians to make sense. You could just do something new that doesn't get mentioned in 101 Dalmatians. That's okay, but the felt need to connect everything one-to-one is like grating to me whenever I see a prequel.
My thing is, and maybe they were planning to do a sequel from the get-go. My thing is, why not just make a movie that's a villain origin story? You don't need to make your character noble in any real way. You can make them tragic, but you don't need to make them the Joker. Make them the fucking Joker. Like, you don't need to try to emphasize with this character. You just need to see them as this tragic, cautionary character. But the thing is with Cruella is that they make you kind of want to root for her. You don't want to root for the Joker. You don't want to root for Cruella. It's just like, I'm not asking every fucking movie that's about a villain character to be the Joker, but I'm asking for every villain movie to be the Joker. At least with the amount of foresight that, yeah, you will still remember that they're a villain.
I'd also find it refreshing to watch a villain movie where the person's just a shitty person to begin with. Like, we don't need I would watch that movie where there's no tragic backstory. They tried to be, no, just from square one, they were kind of a jerk. And I would watch that movie.
I'd watch it too. I mean, that would just be a Rocket Raccoon movie. Just a jerk. No, that would be a Howard the Duck movie. I don't think there's any way that you can make Howard the Duck a nice guy from the beginning. Especially after What If. But, like, do I recommend Cruella?
I mean, it's for free.
If you already have Disney Plus, it's not the worst thing to watch that's on Disney Plus.
Wow.
That's a ringing endorsement.
I mean, like, look, I can look at Disney Plus right now and pick like 3 things that are worse to watch than this. I mean, fucking. I would say this is a more worthy watch than Black Widow, because at least there's something fascinating about why this Cruella movie exists.
But they are so meta when they joke about superhero poses in Black Widow.
Yeah, but like, I mean, if you had the choice between watching The Mighty Ducks or...
Oh, hell yeah.
Or Cruella, I mean, pick Mighty Ducks. Okay, that wasn't the best.
You had me at Mighty Ducks.
I mean, you could also watch the first 2 seasons of the first 2 episodes of White Collar instead.
Yeah, or you can, let's see. I'm looking at, there's just a category on Disney Plus right now called Feel Good Sports, because that's what I want. But the thing is, all of them are actually very well known. I'm not good. Don't have Secretariat on here. Horse riding's not as... Okay, if you have the choice between watching Johnny Tsunami and Cruella, I think they're both of equal value. Johnny Tsunami is amazing.
Okay.
I'll have to talk about that on media.
Okay.
At some
Cruella or Lion King live action remake.
Cruella.
See.
At least I can say this, as much as I don't agree with the concept, Cruella is something different. It's not a shot-for-shot tech demo remake like Lion King live action. So there you go. Thank you, Max.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Cruella versus the shot-by-shot remake thing is kind of taking most of them out. Cruella versus Dumbo.
No, include. Well, the thing is that the shot-for-shot remake thing, I think, is most of all of them is Lion King and maybe Beauty and the Beast.
No, Beauty and the Beast has his stock puppet.
Dumbo is probably of equal value. Look, the best live-action adaptation, the modern live-action adaptations of Disney movies, is still Jungle Book and Aladdin. Those are the only two good ones.
So the first one and the one with Will Smith.
Yes, I've heard decent things about Cinderella. Still haven't watched it because I don't really care much about Cinderella. But yeah, so so with all these glowing things I could say about Cruella, I can totally implore you to watch Muppets Haunted Mansion now on Disney Plus. Which is what I wanted to talk about for my media, but I was too busy with work to watch.
So,
anyways, Nuka.
I was about to say, technically I found mine, but we really need to hear more from Nuka.
Oh, I don't know. It's a JRPG, so I don't know if anyone actually wants to hear about it. But
please do tell. I mean, we can still cut you off if it gets too bad.
It's I'm a huge, long-time fan of the Tales of series from Namco. If folks are familiar with the Tales of Symphonia, Tales of So the new one that I've been waiting like 3 or 4 years, or however many years it's been, Tales of Arise, has finally come out after a delay because of COVID, and I finally beat it after putting about 80 hours into it this week. And yeah, it was. I feel like I'm unpopular in saying this. It's one of those moments where you feel kind of crazy because you look and everyone seems to like something, and you're like, "Is it me?" It was. I really liked the combat, which I thought was a huge improvement over the previous Tales series. It had some of the best combat, probably the best combat system in the entire series. That was like the only redeeming feature to me. It was super fun to play the combat, but most of the characters were really not compelling. The story felt really weak. It made me long for this combat system put into almost any other Tales universe. So it was a little let down because, again, I've been just waiting for years. I'm like, they're going to do it. They're going to do it. It looks beautiful. And then to come out, it was like a very like it wasn't awful enough that I can rail on it for being just terrible. It was just like a big, just like, it's very mediocre.
It's a solid meh face, like horizontal line mouth length.
Yeah, it suffers from the problem of expectations for any Tales game are so high that like it falls short of that. But even like a lackluster Tales game is still a pretty good video game. So I was still.
So is it kind of like a lackluster Pixar movie by other animation studio standards is a decent movie, but because it's to the standards of that studio, it's like when it's lower, it's like ooh.
Yeah, I was just like the pizza metaphor, but it works good for you for the Pixar one too. That like it's there's no real bad Tales games, but this is a Tales game. You have high expectations for it, and for it to be very mediocre. And it was a really good point, though, to me, that how a really good combat system can save a game, but also really emphasize that, yeah, if you don't have compelling or interesting characters, or if you have a narrative that's very, it stands out like a sore thumb when your players are, they love your series for the compelling characters and the story. So I'm hoping a lesson is learned from this by Namco Bandai. Maybe it won't be, because it seems like a lot of people really like this game. So maybe they won't learn anything from it, and they'll keep churning out more of the same.
I know how to fix it. I know how to fix it.
All right, go ahead.
What if we put Pac-Man in it?
There was actually a Pac-Man reference in it. There was a
Pac-Man was not
reference.
enough, apparently.
Well, I mean, it is Namco Bandai. They have to.
They put references to a bunch of their old games in it, actually. These artifacts that you find.
But this really says a lot about like the inverse in gaming expectations, because when you think about it, if we go like a few decades into the past, when gaming was just starting out with our, Commodores and DOS games and NESs, like gameplay was the biggest thing, because the closest thing you got to characterization was the little booklets that just inform you of these things. And now we're in this century, this decade, where like something could have an amazing gameplay feel, but if you can't attach yourself in the way that you could attach yourself to like characters in a show or something, like it doesn't connect with you as much as like, cause like fucking Legend of Zelda, like the original Legend of Zelda. You know nothing about this little green man. You know nothing about this gnome. You're just fighting weird looking monsters. Then you fight a pig and you save another weird looking creature that's pink. And all your information was just in the little booklet. You didn't really get true characterization of Link as a person in game until Link to the Past. And maybe Zelda 2? But Zelda 2 is like a blur in my memory and most people's memories. So
as well it should be.
As it should be. But I just find it fascinating of just hearing like so much praise for the gameplay, and then the big deterrent is the parts that aren't the game. You know what I mean?
I guess what's sorry, go ahead.
No, that was the end of my point.
Okay. It's I guess to me, I love the Tales series. I'm actually not a huge JRPG fan in many contexts. Like I've played lots of different ones, and none of them have like resonated with me the way the Tales series have. But to me, that's like the gold standard of a JRPG to me. And so to see this one, which felt very much like innovative, amazing gameplay, but the story was the kind of story I'd expect to get in like a second-rate no-name brand JRPG, which was really disappointing to me. I'm like, oh man, I come here just as much for the cinematic, interesting world, not cinematics, but like interesting world, interesting immersive elements. So to have it missing that, it reminded me that both elements really have to be there for this to be a top tier, separate itself from other JRPGs. And again,
I mean, especially for JRPGs, that one, I mean, like, you're basically playing a D&D game by yourself. If you're going to invest 80 hours into this, I need to be invested for some reason. Yeah. Would you recommend people try this for themselves? Like, because this one's not for you, but would you say people should try this, albeit after they try the other Tales
I was
games?
about to say, or should people start the Tales of franchise at a different point?
Yeah. So what I would say is this is actually a great starting off point, because it's fantastic for if you've never played a Tales game before. This is a really fun one, and you're not going to be sort of put off by the expectation, like, oh, it's not as good. I would say this is a great starting off point, knowing full well that the games only get better as you go back. Like if you go back to a Symphonia or Tales of Vesperia or Tales of Brazilia, they have, take this fun game, but even better stories, even better immersive worlds. I think it's great though. If you've never played it before, fantastic entry. Even if you are a huge Tales fan, it's not like it was bad. It was just, for all the waiting and all the hype, it felt just kind of okay.
Yeah. When you have your expectation, well, this is not the case because Dread is an amazing game. I'm not going to say that it's not, but it's like if people were waiting on Dread for 15 years, and Metroid Dread finally came out, and it all right. Like,
yeah, it's good, but I didn't feel like I needed to wait 15 years for it.
Yeah, it's just kind of like part of the criticism is the fact that you had this much time to do it, and yet you only hit certain check marks, but not go boom. Which I guess there could be the argument of what it is the fault on the developers or the audience, or a mix of both, because audience expectations, consumer expectations, are always going to have some kind of dissonance from what is the reality of developing a game.
Yeah. It does scare me. My last point, and then I'll shut up about it. The one thing that scares me a little bit is that this feels like they were trying to take a page out of some of the trends that are going on in video games, and they're trying to, like, oh, maybe we need to sort of go in a direction that some of these other ones are going in. I'm like, no, you had a good thing. Keep doing that. Don't buy into this temptation to try to, because they're like, oh, we need to make it look more realistic, and we need to push this more. I'm like, you're an anime game. Don't try to do that. Don't try to go dark and edgy. Like, you had a good thing. Stay in your lane, and you'll do fine. So I'm hoping this was sort of just a bump in the road, and that they'll take the good from this game and put it into something fantastic next time.
Tales of New Vegas. To jump on Odie's reference in the chat.
Yeah.
It being the Fallout 3 of the franchise. But yeah, good stuff came out of it, like New Vegas. But yeah, on that note, it's funny because I just, the other day, 2 days ago it came out, watched a new video by Rasputin. Rasputin or whatever, The Pain of Waiting for Video Games. Which I will also link down below. This is not my media, but it's basically describing this effect that he's focused on 2 sequels. The sequel for three sequels actually. He mentions Psychonauts, Hollow Knight, and for a TV show. And he points out how, because the wait has been so long, he already got out of the hype and could enjoy it again. While otherwise, if you are still in the phase of waiting for it and still being hyped for it, it will be, if it stretches too long, it will not be able to live up to its hype. So if you stop caring about it, or if you enter the series new, to basically come to your point of it might be a good, a brilliant entry game into the series, yeah, it goes into the very similar direction. I recommend somebody, it's 15 minutes, linking it down below to check it out. But yeah, I believe this was your media, wasn't it? Then this leaves the mine, and I finally remembered something that I watched, I believe, actually not last week, but the week before or something. However, on good old Netflix, a movie which I can only assume that it's probably based on a comic book IP. I'm pretty sure somebody will confirm this any second now. The Old Guard. Which it feels to me 100% like an adaptation, like there is more to this universe, and this is like the shrunken down piloty version of it. And well, as you can see in this trailer, this is actually not too much of a spoiler, because this is literally happening in the first 5 to 10 minutes of the movie. The joke is the Old Guard are called the Old Guard because they are kind of around for a while now and guarding shit. They are like hundreds up to thousands of years. They are like immortals. In a world which is like where their immortality is basically the only fantastic element. And yeah, the movie is addressing how they are literally just this handful of this tiny group of immortals that do exist in the world. And for once, they are ridiculously skilled because they had literal centuries to build up their skills and perfectionate them. They kind of have the, it said something about something acclaimed it is built off. Acclaimed graphic novel, called it. It felt very much like it, but in a good way. So I didn't meant this as a talking it down. Also, I feel the urge to stop it because too much spoilery stuff. It's but yeah, and it goes it also addresses like kind of the downsides of being immortals. Like, after I believe it. Yeah, the movie basically starts with the protagonist. Oh god, I forgot her name. It has been 2 weeks since I watched it. The protagonist lady, to basically be like, ugh, and something down the side, and you hope that this time finally will be the last time.
Andy?
Yeah, Andy. Andy is her name. Yes.
Yeah,
and I believe
that's
it comes.
Charlize Theron playing her.
Exactly, and I believe from Andromeda or so is her real ancient name. But yeah, nowadays she's just called Annie. It's also fun because they're so old and originally ran around with melee weapons like axes and swords. Despite the fact that they nowadays run around with MGs, they all still bring their medieval weapons with them and use them if it comes down to it. So you
you never know when you're gonna need them.
Exactly. However, when I watched it, I believe it reminded me a little bit of the Hell of a Boss episode. Why do we only use weapons from the Kaido area? Because they're cool, and you know it. And those guys, like, yeah, they pull it off well. They it was a joke in Hell of a Boss, but those guys up there, they pull it off, and you are like, yeah, checks out.
Look, when you can live forever, you might as well do it while being cool.
Exactly. And I mean, they originally come in with guns, and when it goes melee, then they are fucking badass at it.
Guns aren't cool anymore unless they're magic. Just give me a sword.
Exactly.
Like, come on now.
So I have to ask,
Yes.
since I've not seen the show.
Movie, actually. So you can actually watch it in one sitting. No. Just saying, like they're trying to advertise. It's one movie. It's easy. You don't have to commit too hard. But sorry, your question.
So I'm wondering, because one of the things that always sort of annoys me about whenever the topic of immortality is addressed, it seems like the only downside that's ever brought up is, oh, all your friends and loved ones are going to die and you're going to outlive them, and that's the true tragedy. And that's like the only downside that's ever discussed about the qualm of immortality.
I mean, sorry.
Oh, you go ahead.
Yeah, obviously this point gets brought up, and they develop a certain numbness to it. They are like, as I mentioned, it starts basically with Andre being tired of life, like because it just keeps going and there's no getting out of it, and carrying a lot of tragedy with yourself, wondering what it's even worse. Because they are a group of people who try to do good.
Because one thing that would be really interesting to me, if you're going to write a story about immortality, we know that even if you live to a ripe old age, we know that over time your mind starts to go a little bit, and not just because of like neural degradation and stuff, as the psychologist did me, but like take your computer and you run your computer for long enough, and at some point internal contradictions start to arise and memory starts to get lost and things like that. So I love the way, for example, a series like Halo handles the character of Cortana. As she gets older and older, her mind starts to break down. She starts to get progressively more, they call it rampancy. But I think that would be interesting to address a character who, or we also, as people get older, they tend to be more out of touch with how the world is. I don't mean like delusion, but you feel more conservative. You're used to a certain way of things happening. So if you're literally thousands of years old, you got the problems of your literally from a time that is millennia before the current time. Is it hard to stay current? And, is your mind still sharp? Are you forgetting things you learned 300, 500, 1,000 years ago? Many interesting questions.
Yeah, because neurologically, I mean, one example is the human brain can only, isn't it like
Dunbar's
people
number?
brought up this. Well, yeah, because people brought up this study when social media, especially Facebook, with the whole thing of getting as many friends as possible happened, is that the human brain can only process like 150 people or something at once in your brain, and then everything after people before that become kind of mushy memories. It's just like,
we evolved that.
I believe thanks to social media.
But the point being is that the human brain can only hold so much. I mean, it's like Inside Out with the pit of like forgotten memories or degrading memories. If you live for thousands of years, you're not going to have a photographic memory of 1,000 years worth of things.
Yeah, I'm afraid if that's what you're looking for, this movie might not be the big epiphany or the big milestone you're looking for. They address it in a harmless way, like yeah, as I mentioned, or people die, and also I believe they address that memory is that they don't have a perfect memory of the hundreds of years or thousands of years or however old they are. It's still, yeah, it's more about the reflection, like how, and they're also not too conservative, except for loving to run around with the olden times weapons. So yeah,
well, yeah.
if you're looking for this specific thing, I cannot recommend it.
I remember reading some of this comic because I know that one of the big things was that they are trying to keep their immortality a secret, and it's really hard when you live so long. You know, how do you become indistinguishable between generations?
That is a thing that gets brought up, and and it's specifically about their struggle in the modern day to actually stay hidden, because nowadays the information age becomes kind of tricky. But yeah, so since we just established what not to expect of the movie, what you can expect, it's a pretty solid story. It is well played. It's a great action, and like having also watched the Tomorrow War recently, where I'm like, yeah, from and with Chris Pratt already. I mean, I'm still sitting here in his Star-Lord outfit, so. I dare to say that I have a certain fondness for that man, but if you would be like, yo, rewatch Old Guard versus rewatch Tomorrow or Old Guard, even for the third time, I would still watch a third time Old Guard before rewatching Tomorrow. Tomorrow was okay. At the end of it, it was like it as the name indicates, it deals with time travel, and I'm always very critical of time travel plots. And want to see how they solve it and if they shoot themselves in the foot. And while I had the suspicion they fucked it up, then eventually as the movie developed at the end, I was like, yeah, okay. They kept the time travel shenanigans so simple and bare bone that it was actually solid in and of itself, and it actually, all the things where I was in the early beginning, like, oh, why are you not doing this? It all turned out to actually be solid, kind of, in the time travel that they established in their
internally
universe.
Consistent.
Exactly. But it was also like they had it boiled down to such a simple one, to such a simple time travel that it didn't necessarily even... I know it needed to be kind of time travel, but they boiled it down very, very, very basic. It's like...
Put the square block in the square hole.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like... It's also a good movie, but if you're in the mood for an action movie, go with Old Guard, then go with Tomorrow War, and then return to Old Guard. So that's my recommendation. Good, solid action flick with tiny bit of a fantastical element.
I'll check it out.
Yeah. Watch it for free on Netflix. But those were our medias, I believe. So I guess we should address.
So now it's the question time.
But before that, since we went through big struggles to get it up there.
Yeah, look at that solid art of three idiots. You got the top solid idiot, you got the middle idiot, and you got the bottom idiot. And this was done by the lovely Dizzy Miss Lizzie, who you guys may remember doing that lovely meme art of Enigma and me and you from a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's also Lizzie.
Yes.
She does great stuff. Keith called Lauren a bottom. I'm not saying things that aren't true.
Oh my. TMI.
It's a funny joke.
Or NEI.
NEI? Not enough.
You're welcome. But yeah.
Okay, so why don't you get the... Oh, do you have a comment on the artwork?
It looks great, and we are happy to have Three Idiots artwork.
I know, this is like the first major piece of Three Idiots artwork that's not like... I think like the most adjacent thing is the artwork Brogard did of me, you, and Lauren as like Lupin, Jigen, and Fujiko when Fujiko and Jigen are beating the shit out of Lupin.
But I mean, this is just the dynamic of the three of us, but not a direct reference to the show, so that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Izzy, great artist, loving the style. So, we do. Yeah. So, but yeah, I got the obligatory question on Twitter, the singular one. Thanks, thank J-Rock for keeping the Twitter questions going, so I can at least do something.
Running the rest of the tech of the show isn't enough for you? I think it's more.
Yeah, but when it comes to the question section, it's like, before that I can do things with my display up there and whatnot, but when it comes to the questions, it's like, my one question on Twitter, then reading the questions that you actually then ask on the phone, because I can't switch to Discord, because I have the brain of a sparrow, so I need to read it, but otherwise I forget the question until it's my turn. So, but yeah, I got my Twitter question by J-Rock for 03.
Yeah.
Would you rather live in a zombie apocalypse or a post-nuclear war?
Zombie.
Why?
Zombie. Because are we forgetting we've seen a glimpse of what a post-nuclear war looks like in the long-lasting effects on the human body. That's called Hiroshima. I'd rather just die by someone eating my head than get like a long form of some kind of illness because the fucking atmosphere is toxic. And even if you say like, oh, there's fallout shelters. Yeah, you know what happens when you put humans inside for a long period of time?
Dave!
Yeah, so like, yeah, I'm gonna go with zombies. I'll test my luck. I'll go all zombie land for Twinkies.
It wasn't Dave. Ah, shit. No, what was it?
Gary?
Gary? Gary! God damn it, I messed up my memes. Ah.
You're talking to a guy who's named Nuka.
It's true, but yeah, Gary, obviously I meant Gary! That's what happens when you put them in a vault. With nerve gas, I believe, not a toxin. Anyways, your answer.
What about you, Nuka?
Exactly.
So I gotta go with nuclear Fallout, if only because I've been practicing for this like my whole life. I'm a huge Fallout fan, so even though I agree, objectively, a much worse situation, I feel like I've trained for this. I feel like I've mastered the skills.
Because I played Grand Theft Auto. This is the energy you're giving out.
Ironically, I'm also a person who studies video game effects, so it's mostly a joke answer. But yes, I'm gonna go. Yeah. I have to stick with my guns, stick with my franchise Fallout.
Fair.
Okay, what about you, Matt?
The problem is, I literally was to go with combine both and have the Fallout universe, but Odie stole this joke from me, or he was able to post it ahead of before it was my turn. He got to post in the chat, and I'm like, okay, now I need to make an actual decision. Shit.
Quick, Odie, send a link to a picture of a cute dog. You made someone mad. You're gonna upset it with dog.
No, this doesn't work on me. But okay, what zombie apocalypse versus? I mean, on the one hand, I have the feeling that zombie apocalypse could be fun because that's what I learned from Zombieland.
Zombieland.
Exactly, nah. But on the other hand, now, if you look at Fallout, the thing about Fallout is that the zombies are not a zombie apocalypse. They can kill you, but they don't even infect you. The radiation turns you into a zombie. It's not like...
They're ghouls.
Exactly. They actually are. So, Fallout would still be more of a post-nuclear war apocalypse than a zombie apocalypse, and... I don't know, just chilling out in the wasteland, hanging out with dog meat, befriending super mutants. Sounds better than having to run the entire time.
This is what you see when you're in a nuclear apocalypse. These are the creatures you'll experience.
Oh no. Take it out of here. This is horrific.
No.
Wait, why is it not opening?
If you live in a nuclear apocalypse, this is what happens when the radiation infects the natural life.
I mean, if this is the kind of dog meat I have to hang out with in the post-apocalypse, zombies, please take me. I don't want to.
So good.
What?
There is.
I'm just saying-
Actually, go ahead. Actually, go ahead.
No, you
Guess
go.
goes
you
first.
Go. I'm going to say.
There
Yeah,
is
guess goes
one
first.
thing working in Keyframe's favor here.
Mhm.
I believe that a zombie apocalypse would actually end a lot sooner, one way or another, than so the nuclear one. It could be thousands, tens of thousands of years before it all dissipates. Whereas a zombie apocalypse, if we presume once the zombies and the infected die out and decompose, if you can survive that initial, like, however long that takes, then you should be good. Whereas I feel for the post-nuclear apocalypse, that one's hanging around for a while. So.
And not just the literal fallout, but also like the destruction that it caused.
Yeah.
I mean, the zombie apocalypse, you also see stuff breaking and the zombies smashing through shit and so on, but at the end of the day, the destruction will be minimal compared to a couple of nuclear bombs going off.
See, yeah, but what I was going to say is that, look, nuclear radiation does terrible things. I don't take it out of any surprise that if nuclear radiation causes every natural life form to essentially become Kermits and do nothing but cry and be nasty. Because nuclear radiation, in the understatement of the century, is nasty. You will all become nasty boys because of the nuclear radiation.
But I am already nasty and cry a lot, so...
You are a Kermit. Deep down, you are a Kermit.
But do you think why I hate him so
much?
That
is you.
But yeah, more questions.
Don't hate this sweet boy. Look at him. Oh.
I just took him away, so I don't have to look at him anymore.
Go on.
Chat, give some love to Kermit.
No, don't give love to Kermit. Oh my. Odie, stop it with this. Somebody take away Odie's negative filter thing.
Oh, what the evil enigma be like? I'm going to ask a short question.
Kinda. What did he send to me the other day?
Okay, so let's see.
Evil Max be like, I hate ferrets. I can't show it. I can't show. Oh no! And he sent me a ferret picture. Now I can't be angry at him anymore. It actually looks a little bit like Rocket. Are you stalking my ferrets?
All right. No, it's just that ferrets have very similar patterns. Anyways, can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
All right. So let's see. From unmuting yourself by accident. Awkward POV. Ladybug lets you borrow a miraculous months ago and she's asking it back from you. What do you have to say to her?
I guess I need to also put up the pic. Can you?
Yes, I'm going to add something to this question.
Okay.
Because I want to be a little bit creative.
I
want to know what would your miraculous hero be like if you got any. It doesn't have to be even a miraculous animal that exists, a kwami, whatever it's called. What animal would you want to be the embodiment of for your superhero?
So that you are intrigued enough by it that you don't want to return it.
Exactly. Nuka, do you know what miraculous ladybug is?
I have zero understanding of this question.
Okay, here's a picture incoming.
Okay.
All right, so
I found a hack.
Ladybug is basically a show. Imagine Sailor Moon, but all the Sailor Scouts only get their powers temporarily.
Okay.
Also, it's
Ladybug,
French.
Yeah, it's French. So basically,
I live in French Canada, so I can't hold that against them.
She gives you these little, jewelry pieces that are based around different types of animals, and they give you powers, and you become a superhero, and then you have to give the thing back to her, so you can't permanently be a superhero.
Okay.
So the question is, what animal would you want to be your embodiment, that you would want to embody? If she said, give it back, what would you do? Would you be a good boy, or would you choose violence?
So, I'm a furry, so that's really easy. I'm going to go with cat, because my persona is a cat. And if someone tried to take back my ability to be a cat, I would climb on something really high and try to bite their hand when they tried to catch me.
Sounds about right.
And maybe knock things off the top shelf.
Also...
knock shit off the Eiffel Tower.
Also, yeah, have some cat Nuka. Yee! Ah, I lost him. No! Why are we people now? Ah!
There we go. But okay, Max, as someone like you and I who have actually seen way too much Ladybug than we care to admit, what would be your answer to the question?
What would be my answer to the question? So the double question, like A, what do I want, and what would be my reaction?
You can make one up, or you could pick one that's already been on the show if you want to be less creative.
I make one up, but it's also not creative. I found the perfect in between of neither. It's a ferret. It's a ferret.
What would a ferret's power be? Just be able to slink through stuff like Mr. Fantastic?
Maybe. And that's also basically the answer what I will do. I mean, ferrets are pretty mischievous by nature, so you already know I am not giving it back. And ferrets like to steal stuff and hide it and put it in spots. So I will just take the Kwame and I will... ferrets are actually not eating too much shit. This is very pleasant about them. Compared to other animals like dogs who eat everything.
Hey, don't insult dogs like that.
It's a fact. I'm stating a fact that they eat everything. If they don't want to hear that, then they need to stop eating everything. But
maybe yours did, and maybe mine did, because my dog did chew the entire wiring of a couch once.
But that's just a sample size of 2.
100% so far.
Yeah, but okay. Point being, you would slink away from Ladybug if she asks
and I would just do the thing, like I steal something and hide it in one of my hidey holes, and then she cannot get it back, and then she can be like, yeah, give it back as much as you want. I would just be like, you
could do your little warrior bouncing.
Exactly, leading with my butt, jumping backwards out, and she doesn't know where it is because it's in the hidey hole.
You want to know what makes me mad is that I'm going to seem like an uncreative follower because I wanted to make mine a mink miraculous. So that's my fruit zone.
But maybe your story is different.
Well, okay. The thing is that a mink is an apex predator. I would be a very ravenous. I'd probably have like steel teeth and claws. That would be my fucking ability. I'd be a melee hero. But the thing is, I feel like that would also be a very easy thing to corrupt. So I may want to give it back to her simply because I feel like I would go mad with power.
Well,
I don't trust myself. Have you seen videos of minks? They're fucking wild. They kill chickens. Like, they are used as hunting animals.
Yeah, even ferrets are.
Yeah, but minks are better. We're much more beefy, and we don't get stuck
domesticated.
And we don't get stuck. Yeah, and we don't get stuck in toilet paper tubes, and we don't suddenly stop in our tracks and become fucking what's it called when you get like stopped and you don't pacify just because someone puts salmon paste in front of you, like. Or whatever paste you put in front of a ferret. I know you can put salmon oil on their like chest.
Oh no, this sadly doesn't. At least with our 2 boys, at least this actually fancy salmon oil we got is actually not working on them for some reason.
Point being, I imagine that a ferret wouldn't be. I imagine a mink would not be satiated by paste.
Okay, here's paste. Here's a ferret. Let me put it on his belly. Yeah, come on. Hold this sword, Himbo. Hold this sword. There. Now he has paste in his fur, and now he can't move anymore.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A mink wouldn't do that. A mink would attack you for the entire bottle. That's what I'm saying.
But it's so delightful to watch.
Oh! He actually got this bottle once. That's why there are a lot of holes poked in it. I can't move anymore. I have a ferret on my belly. So this is as close as I can get.
Off.
You cannot just take off a...
You monster!
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, next question. Thank you, Odie. And I'm guessing we don't have any more on Twitter. Did he fall?
Not all the way, but you rolled over.
This is the reason I said to put him down, because it seems like every time you put him on your lap, he decides that he wants to jump off the world.
Yeah, because he's an idiot. He's named Himbo for a reason. Jesus. Have a little bit of sense of balance. I need to put the tube back. Ah, Jesus. No.
This show is a mess. Anyways.
Yes, next question.
Next question.
Oh, no, he's... Okay. He's not fallen yet.
Okay, the next question is...
I don't have anything left on Twitter. Oh, yeah. Hi,
Are we actually going to get to the question?
Just read it. Just read it. Oh.
Okay. Let's see. God, some of these questions are stupid.
This is my water. He's drinking my water. Jesus. My water. No, get off the keyboard.
Please, take care of your fucking pet.
Okay, he has left the table.
Okay. Okay. Trendy meme time, also from unmuting yourself by accident. Make the evil X be like meme with your co-hosts. So,
now we need to
essentially
show
this
the pic.
meme... I
this
could
meme,
put
so.
Yeah, I could put this meme in the chat.
Thank you.
I'm 35, and what is this?
No, essentially the meme is basically like what your evil self would say, and it's a very like, you know, it's the opposite of you. So like fucking Pinkie Pie would be like, evil Pinkie Pie be like, I hate parties, you know, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So let's see, how are we gonna do? I think like, Evil Max be like, I hate ferrets. That's great. Okay, I got it. Nuka, do one for Max. Max, do one for me. I will do one for Nuka.
Okay.
Oh, we have to do them for each other. Oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna go counterclockwise. So Nuka, what would Evil Max do? I mean, you did have him on your show.
And you must not take
I
this one.
got it.
This one is
I got it. All right.
Yes.
So, I was gonna do a variation of that. Sort of.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, Evil Max be like, let me give you like a short answer.
Ooh.
Beautiful. That is very close to what I would have said. Oh, that's good.
So who's going next?
Oh god. Yeah, you have to do one.
I'm sorry, Max.
But it's true.
Yeah, but now, Max, what would evil Chrissy be like?
Today I take the day off.
Fuck off, man. Don't call me out like that. This is supposed to be a fun game, and now I feel attacked. Why was it so easy? That's the part that makes me I'm predictable. I'm predictable. Normal Chrissy be like, I'm predictable. Okay, so now I gotta do one for Nuka. Oh boy.
I got a good one for Nuka.
No, you know what? Do it, so that way I can have a frame of reference.
There's a Evil Nuka be like, scientists don't know anything, and vaccines cause autism.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Let's see. Evil Nuka be like, let's have a sample study of 2.
My head just exploded. Just
yeah, just have the word Evil Nuka be like, I like biased test answers. Evil Nuka be like, my class understands sex really well.
Speaking of which, I look forward to seeing your answers to that midterm I sent you.
Oh yeah. I definitely. Now we have posted too many pictures. I need to be careful not to lose track of it.
Also,
I'll give you your grade afterwards, so you can laugh about it later.
Also, chat, I'm requesting for me. Forget these two. Put your evil Chrissy's be like in the chat. I want to be bullied today. And now I'm going to get to the next question. Yeah, well, you know what? At some point, you got to accept it. I get mad when you do it, but that's because you know me. Let's see. Okay, this one's a decent one. Because some of these guys, some of you are giving really Zoomer questions. Stop.
I'm old.
Do I need to kick all the Zoomers out of my server?
No, it's because, okay, just to say an example of one, Wolf had asked one of, I'm not answering this question because this question's stupid, but it's something that just reeks of Gen Z. Is you open your fridge to get a snack, but there isn't a snack to be found. The only thing that in your fridge is multi-million-dollar singer-rapper Drake. He will not stop Hotline Bling dancing. You tried to get an explanation out of him as to why he's in your fridge, but he keeps responding with lines from the song. What do you do?
What the fuck is a Drake?
I hate this question. I hate you.
Wolfhead is like the most zoomer of our viewers now, I guess.
I don't know. Wolf, don't ask this question again. Here's $10. Go see a Star Wars. Like, no, stop.
But yeah, apparently this is there's a lot of more stuff.
Yeah, I mean that is
I lost him. That is a Drake apparently. That is a Drake. Yeah. It's not visible. Now it's visible. There's a Drake. And he's in your fridge, and he keeps instead of explaining, he
keeps doing that. I mean, I would call the police. Why are you in my home? I don't care if unless you brought the money with you. And no, now we're answering the question. No,
he tricked you.
Now dignified it with a response. Way to go. You've only reinforced this behavior.
Yeah, here's a good question.
Ooh, shots been fired.
Mr. Joe Mule asks, seems that today is my birthday. Happy birthday. But this might be answered Sunday. Oh, well, happy late birthday. My question is this. Have any of you had a birthday moment in time, either funny, interesting, happy, or otherwise? I would assume that most of us have had at least one good birthday. Otherwise, we're really sad. But I guess they're saying like what is a standout thing that has happened on your birthday, or just some kind of acknowledgement thing. Like, I guess this could be easier for some, because I do know that some people really just don't give a shit about their birthdays. But yeah, so I guess like if you have like a standout birthday thing, but there you go. I'm gonna save mine because mine is really like actually wholesome and kind of embarrassingly mushy. So I'm going to not say it immediately.
Hey, mine's really anticlimactic. I spent my 18th birthday playing StarCraft.
Alone
in That's a great birthday, man. Okay, hold on. I'm reading some of these Evil Key things. Evil Key is like, I can't wait to answer Wolf's question.
Well,
Evil Key be like, Central Park has lazy songs and uninteresting characters. Get out, Evil Key. I don't like you. Evil Key be like, giving gifts is such a... Shut up!
You asked for this.
No, that one's just a really good one. That one is a really good one. That's why I got mad. Evil Key be like, editing 5 hours of Friendlock is the highlight of...
Oh.
Why are you guys bullying me just because I asked you to? But yes, Max, do you have anything?
I mean, I theoretically probably have, because I used to actually celebrate my birthday, not because I think birthdays are such a fantastic concept, because birthdays, that's stupid. Video, maybe ever, maybe not. Anyways, but I liked it as an excuse to just celebrate with friends. So I had a lot of house parties, just like... originally, like during school time, I actually got the living room. I got my parents to show off and got big living room to get a handful of friends in. And later, when I had my own flat under the roof, I actually just had big party with like 30 people and 30 to 40 people, and it was pretty fun. Everybody brought something for food, but I believe my highlight one was probably relative. Might also have been the 18th, maybe a little bit a year before or after. It was before I had the flat. It was still downstairs, and it was a smaller group, but it was just generally epic mood. We just legitimately danced. We put on music. We just in the middle of the room. I had a proper dance party.
Sick at the park.
Hmm?
I'm trying. Every time I think of you partying when you're younger, I think of the story you told me of you getting sick at the park with your friends.
That was not me partying. This was me getting drunk in the park.
I mean, is that not a party in its own description?
When I party, I usually don't get too drunk. I drink a little bit, but I want to remember it. Pro tip. Pro tip. Don't get drunk at parties, because then you will miss the party. And the funniest stories of your life, you will only know them secondhand. So PDA, PSA, that's the thing. No, but it was like very great mood, very fun and whatnot. And then suddenly those two policemen were standing in the living room, and I was like, oh, hi! Thankfully not drunk. Another great thing not to be drunk, especially when you host a party. You can still talk to the police when they show up.
I mean, all I could think of is that John Mulaney bit where he goes to like the kid's house party, and like and someone said something police, and then with my drunk mind I just yelled, "Fuck the police!"
Yup.
Oh God.
No,
okay.
I didn't have a John Mulaney, but I recall that somebody actually was sitting in the background, a little bit more tipsy than me, and actually made stupid comments from the sofa. Not on the levels of "fuck the police," but on the level of being like heckling them.
Things to not say to the police.
Yeah, nothing that gets you in criminal problems, but something that's not helping me de-escalate the thing. But they were basically like, yeah, the neighbors from across the street were like, the music is a bit loud. Turn it down. If we have to come again, we have to take you owe us a case of beer. So.
Oh, God! Why are your cops cool? Just because they're not American?
I mean,
ours just shoot people.
I was about to say, from what I observe, now it gets too real, but thankfully Keyframe comes in with a wholesome answer to make the overall mood go up again. But yeah, beside there actually being systematic issues which turn American cops more brutal and ruthless and whatnot, German cops also have their issues, especially in the recent years. It's just like,
yeah.
Some cops are cops. At the end of the day, are also people, and there are some good apples. You have to say it like this nowadays, otherwise you get cancelled.
Yeah, evil Kiwi. Like
I wanted to become a cop once, but they didn't want me. Their loss. Glasses, knees, allergies.
Evil Kiwi, like gym time is the worst time. Don't be like that, Enigma. I could have talked about the gym during my week this week. My trainer complimented my form a lot during my personal session the other day. She said that I'm getting really strong, and I was actually able to lift up like 27 kilos over my head, which given my shitty fucking shoulders, that's an achievement.
Huzzah.
But no, my wholesome story. I would say that like I have two that are like the nicest things, but I'm only gonna pick one. One of them was from my 20th birthday. This one's from my 21st birthday. Like my 21st birthday was the first birthday after my dad passed away, so that's already something. But it was like an epic 3 days going to like 3 different amusement parks, just having a good time and all this shit. It was so much fun. I haven't had that much fun in a while. And and like there was this comes the embarrassing part. There was like a moment where like I think we were at Universal and I already bought like Lauren and stuff, like things from Universal, like Hufflepuff stuff, because she loves Hufflepuff. And we were in the comic store that's on the City Walk there, and there was a shirt of Lion from Steven Universe on there, and I was looking at it and I was like, oh, I really like this, but I already spent money, and I don't think I should get something for myself. I put it back. And I think like a day later or something, me and Max were just chatting about stuff, and I was like, I can't ask for people to give me more than just being around. I don't really, shocker, given I give so many gifts, I don't really feel like I'm deserving of gifts and all that. And then, last day, it was like Sunday, we were about to go see Jumanji, and DeWilsonator's there. He gives a shopping bag to like Max, and and he's like, "Are you getting ready to go?" And I was like, "Yeah." And Max just throws the shopping bag at me. It's like, "Why did you throw a plastic bag at me, you bastard?" And I open it up. Oh, God, you sound so angry. But like I open it and it's the Lion shirt, and he just looked at me, and with that kind of like no smile, he's just kind of like, "Don't say you don't deserve stuff. Don't usurp my story with ferrets."
Cable is too short anyway.
But like, but yeah, he was just like, "Don't say you don't deserve things," and I was just like,
yeah,
I'm gonna cry, because that was just such a. It's just that entire like weekend was just like a reminder of like, after losing something so important like my dad, somewhat, not something, being around people that like, you know, that love and care about you and remind you that you're loved and care about, that's the best gift I could ever receive. And it's just kind of made everything feel like more normal, because, you know, that period between September and then was just kind of like this innocuous blob of months, and that was kind of like the moment that the world started to actually go day by day again. So that's the best gift. That's the best birthday. I told you it'd be mushy and wholesome.
Yeah. You're welcome.
When Chrissy says something, yeah, it's Max's fault it was wholesome. Blame him. But yes, we're at our final question, which is good because we're running late.
We are.
I'm sorry.
So.
Yeah, you never stop talking, Nuka. It's such a.
Yeah, you chatterbox. But yeah, okay, so our last question, the best question, from Sinisterly Spectral Prince says, with a medically licensed doctor as our guest, we better be sure that our health is up to code and that we have no ailments or symptoms of anything serious. But wait, we have to see the 3 medicated staff because we all caught a case of fuck, marry, kill, driven and dashing doctors. Doctor Who, with the caption of Doctor Who, but Max and Key must consensually pick one that they both like. So we can't just pick 2 different ones. Wow, that makes things more difficult.
Well played.
Doctor Doom from Marvel and Dr. Manhattan from Watchmen. Oh boy. Oh boy. These folks sure have the credentials to treat this, so you all better treat them well, and don't forget to take your vitamins and necessary medicine after this. Well, I'm pretty sure that fucking Dr. Manhattan will give you cancer?
I mean, he has sexual intercourse with a lady in the movie and the comics probably too, so mere contact with him apparently is safe as long as he wants it to be. I mean, he's basically God, isn't he? But yeah, maybe it's a language thing, but are you a medically licensed doctor?
No, I'm a psychologist.
That's what I was about to say.
I'm not a practicing like clinical psychologist. I'm a put people in boxes and study them psychologist, not a sit on the couch and tell me about.
Asks you to tart and cough, that's not to check you. That's to just see if you'll do it.
But
that's me going mad with power.
But okay, a Doctor Who. I guess it's we should also not exclude Nuka, one that we all 3 can agree on. I mean, top candidates, we could go simple, and top candidates would probably either be Tennant or Smith.
Wrong.
No.
Oh!
No.
Oh boy.
Eccleston,
yes! We have 2 Ninth Doctors. Thank you, Nuka. You are cultured.
But isn't the thing that
Can you please not fuck while I'm trying to save the universe? Why? Why do you not like Eccleston? He's the best.
No. I'm not against him, but Monkenshi picks that they're both like. I guess I like. I don't think I disliked any Doctors of the new incarnation. I mean, the lady mostly got shitty writing, so I not blame her. But I mean, like, even Capaldi got some really shitty episode, Jesus.
But I mean, think about this, Max. Eccleston actually had Rose be an interesting character and not just a lovesick puppy like she was during the Tennant years.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite is Smith, so I just threw Tennant in there because that's usually the one that everybody agrees on.
I'm just saying Eccleston had the ability to make a character likable.
Matt Smith had a bow tie. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, but Eccleston had a cool leather jacket.
With this statement, I accept Eccleston and put on my cool leather jacket back on. Okay,
All right.
Ninth Doctor.
Eccleston, Dr. Doom, and Dr. Manhattan.
Yes.
With you, yeah. With your accepting of that, I take one of your infractments away.
Damn it! Now I have to take it off again and insist that it's Smith.
No, it looks good. No. But okay, so Nuka, you are our guest, so you get to get first pickings. So Chris Eccleston, Doctor Who, Dr. Doom, and Dr. Manhattan.
Shit. See, that makes it tough, actually, because I like Eccleston, and if you're going to pick Tennant, it was actually going to make it really easy. That was going to be my kill. So now I'm struggling. Okay, I'm afraid I'm going to have to, even though it is Eccleston, I'm going to have to kill him.
Why?
Because now he becomes Tennant.
No, because I'm a mad scientist. I gotta marry Dr. Doom because we'd be the ultimate power couple.
Okay.
And and for fuck, I have to go to Dr. Manhattan because have you seen how hung that guy is?
Yeah. There's nothing left to the imagination there.
I personally was not too intrigued by the hungness, but I mean, he can still multiply and he can give you things that a single person literally can't. So
cancer.
I know individual people on the internet who come very close, but anyways.
God, why couldn't we end the show there? That was so good. No.
It's not too late.
But no.
It's too early. It's too early.
But yeah,
I know.
But yes, okay.
You should have made me go last.
Oh yeah. We'll keep that in mind for next time. But okay, who went last week? Was it me? I think it may have been me.
Could be. So I guess you. Yeah, I have a feeling.
Yeah. Okay. So I will go next. Okay. So you killed Doctor Who, married Doctor Doom, and fucked Dr. Manhattan. Okay. So
in that order.
In that order, yes.
That's also important. Oh, we should include that in the future. That the order is relevant.
Because this all happens right after one another.
It's a storybook tale. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to kill Dr. Doom.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what? With how shitty the Fantastic Four movies are, no one's doing it already. I might as well get rid of it. Also, I cosplay a Squirrel Girl often. Squirrel Girl has canonically defeated Dr. Doom.
Mm-hmm.
So I get to live out my Squirrel Girl fantasies by killing Dr. Doom. Then I am going to marry Doctor Who because I want to be like that. I want to be that companion.
You are Rose
and you know
Tyler.
what? No, because then Rose becomes dumb. But look, I want to be something better than Rose Tyler. I want to take Rose Tyler and shove her out of the TARDIS, and then I get to exist. And we can go on adventures. And you know what? I could probably keep him from reincarnating only after one season, so that way Tennant can wait a little bit longer. All the other doctors can wait a little bit longer because Eccleston should have been the doctor longer.
Yes, that is the correct answer.
Wait, is it really? Well, what are you doing? What are you doing with the Doctor again?
What, Dr. Doom or Dr. Manhattan?
Right, there are multiple ones.
Or Dr. Nuka.
The Doctor Who.
I'm marrying Doctor Who.
Wait, are we all going to fuck Dr. Manhattan?
Oh, wait, no. Oh, God damn it. Okay, then I guess I'm going to marry Dr. Manhattan. No, you know what? I'll marry Dr. Manhattan.
He can copy himself, so we all can fuck him at the same time. It actually adds up. Yeah, it calculates.
Instant origin, man. But no, fine. I will switch things up. I will marry Dr. Manhattan because, well...
God.
He is a weird... He's God. There's no better gold digger answer than God.
Yeah.
I'm a God digger.
I like that one.
And then I'm gonna... You know what? I'm gonna fuck Doctor Who. Because who doesn't? Like, name one girl who's been on Tumblr who at some point did not look at a Doctor Who and be like, Yeah.
I mean, there are also like, how many by now? 13, 14 versions of him. There is something for every taste.
That is a
Even
buffet.
a lady by now.
That is a wine tasting event right there. And Eccleston is a fine Zinfandel. And I love a good Zinfandel. I'm going to enjoy that bottle. Even if it's for one night, that's going to be a fun night. And hopefully with no regrets in the morning. Because he'll be dead. Because he's
something insert joke about moisturizing me here.
Moisturize
me.
I have that episode on DVD. I have all those episodes on DVD. But yeah, so there's mine. Max, you get your it's time for your doctor's appointment.
Mm-hmm. It is. Yeah.
I'll get the glove.
I guess I leave the one with the most awkward potential for last. So I am going to murder Dr. Manhattan. I mean, I have it from...
Good luck.
I know, right? I have it from a very solid source that he actually destroyed the city and not a giant kraken. And so he's a menace, so he needs to be stopped. Because I listened to Osmodius or whatever the other hero's name was. You can tell. I watched the movie once and never read the comic.
You are so... I mean, man, Enigma sure knew that you are like the biggest Watchman fan.
Yeah, I mean, here's a true answer. Here's a true answer. That we all pointed out how well hung the good man is, and I had penis envy. That's it. I mean, I looked at this man and I was like...
This wasn't going to be that's not the most awkward ending?
I'm curious now.
I just came up with it on the spot, so I didn't.
Now you gotta top that.
Yeah. It will probably not be able to top that, but yeah.
Penis envy.
Yeah, penis envy. I will.
And you have a psychologist on the show.
Yeah. So what does it say about me that I see a big blue penis and I'm like,
Freudian.
I want to murder God?
I don't know. I'm not a Freudian, so yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
like
evil Max be like, I have penis confidence.
Excuse me?
What? You said you have penis envy. Evil Max is the opposite. I have penis confidence.
Specifically when it comes to Dr. Manhattan, thank you.
Okay, fine. We'll put a little asterisk there, buddy. But sure.
Yeah.
Anyways,
my marriage.
Did
Marrying Doctor Who. It's fine. It's pretty straightforward. If there is somebody, killing the Doctor just gets you a new one, and depending on who is currently the show writer, it's a gamble. You never know what happens when you kill him. So not killing him is like, yeah, he comes back anyway. But fucking him. I mean, it is canonically established that he has an entire family, at least in his first incarnation. I'm not sure if he ever got lucky again in any of his other incarnations, but he canonically has background. But he also became like more and more ace, which is nice, having him a good old representation. So he's not really the guy for a fuck. At least I don't see him this way. I believe during the Tennant.
That's why they call them companions.
Exactly. So, but he definitely is the guy to spend time with, to travel through the universe, to see places. Like, I'm not great into sightseeing, and even I'm getting excited on the idea of going around and having journeys and adventures with the Doctor. So yeah. Marriage material. This is some individual to stick with.
Why you're all hot and bothered for this handsome.
Yeah, that is the awkward part now, isn't it? Doctor Doom. You see, I see this metal face, and it's like, buddy, your face or my ding dong. Let's find out what's harder.
Be sure you get your tetanus shot.
Oh.
I mean, he's a doctor. He probably knows how to take care of it so it doesn't start rusting. I hope. I don't know.
Awkward.
A and Y and Key say hi to the people in the chat. The memes are seen on this live stream as they talk about random crap. Time for awkward. It's the awkward. random guests and funny gags on the AWKWARDcast. Artwork and analysis, which you do not want to miss on Awkward.